script and this draft and the drafting process as a whole. And I think that things are starting to look up. Today, my friends, we are recovering from burnout. We're refilling our creative wells. We're gonna get ourselves back to a place where we're writing, we're enjoying writing, and we actually feel good about what we're writing. I am pretty convinced that a lot of this comes down to just energy. I have not been energetically replenished for quite some time. I honestly think that most of this year I have been in complete, full-blown burnout. So there's that. However, when it comes to recovering from burnout, I am an expert. I'm really good at getting myself into burnout, and I'm also really good at getting myself out of burnout, and that is going to be kind of the purpose of this video. I thought I'd bring you along with me over the next few days and show you my process of how to get yourself out of burnout and get yourself back into a position where you feel like writing again, where you feel motivated. Because here's the thing, you can white knuckle your way through most things in life. You can just muscle your way through. You can sit yourself down at your desk, force yourself to type, and hit a certain word count, and that is valid. That is fair. Sometimes you actually have to be doing that. But I do think that if you can get yourself to a place where you are actually motivated to be doing that, you will be swimming downstream instead of upstream. Finding a way to evoke motivation is a life hack, and all that does is take a little introspection on your part and prioritizing doing those things that you know are going to really work for you. So today we're going to be exploring mine. This all begins with a little bit of ambiance, a little bit of decor. I obviously have a cute aesthetic going right now, so I don't want to get a ton of things that are going to disrupt all of this, but I am going to be taking you to World Market, and we're going to go see what they have to offer in the way of holiday decor and just sort of set the mood. I will not say no to some twinkly lights and to a candle. Ever. We're also going to be talking about some new creative hobbies that I have taken on. These I think are going to be so enriching and so good for me. I am a huge advocate for being creative in other ways if you feel you cannot be creative in a certain way. So if you feel like you can't write, do something else creative. I promise that somehow it stokes the flames of the same fire. You just have to give your brain something else to be creative about for a little while. So we will be talking about a couple of the new creative hobbies that I have invited into my life and that I love so much. And then at the end of this, when we're finally feeling replenished, when we feel like we've recovered from burnout, we've refilled our creative well, we've enjoyed other creative activities, our motivation has returned, I'm gonna end this video by taking you with me to one of my favorite cafes in the entire world. It's an hour south, back where I used to live in the desert. We're gonna go back to the sycamore trees and to the creek. Do you guys remember those videos from like a year ago, back when I used to live down there? I'm so excited. And we will enjoy an all-day writing day at one of my favorite cafes. Oh, I just really can't wait. This is gonna be one of the best weeks ever. We're gonna fix up this environment. We're gonna enjoy a nice, cozy night. And I'm gonna show you one of the two new creative hobbies that I've really been enjoying. And we'll talk a little bit more about all of those things later. Okay, let's go. I love you. It's so cute.
Oh my god, you remember these? The orange, and you slam it on the table and it breaks open into those chocolate slices.
I'm getting one. Add this to my little stash. Sugar, 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 and earrings. So cute. So cute. Look at this cute little guy.
We gotta get our little miniature.
Is that so cute?
We gotta get our little miniature Christmas tree set up in my place.
Yes!
Get our own ornament.
Let's go see if there's something over here. Okay. Hello, my friends, and welcome to another day, a very cloudy, autumnal day at that. I apologize if there's any harsh lighting. I can't really control it. I'm saying that more to myself than I am to you. Anyway, it has been a few days since you last saw me. It is now Saturday, November 8th at 1:14 in the afternoon. I'm actually planning to hit the gym after this, so I'm gonna make this relatively quick. I ended up spending the last couple of days doing basically exactly what I've already shown you. Taking baths, reading, sleeping, all of the replenishing activities. The one thing I did not do, obviously, again, was go to World Market. That was incredibly fun, but I only needed to do that once, and I actually did not find anything in the way of decor there, which is incredibly unusual. Normally, I'm throwing everything that I lay my eyes on in my cart. It was fun. I just didn't find anything, which is okay actually, because a couple of weeks ago, I ordered a few items that happened to arrive early enough to make it into this video, and they are, as you have seen, I'm obsessed with them. That lamp makes me think of a mochi. Like, it could not fit my aesthetic more. I am so obsessed with it. I want to buy 5 more. The lighting in real life is very soft and warm and diffused and cozy, and the camera doesn't really pick up on that, but it is superb. I do think later I'll pick up some holiday decor, like maybe from somewhere else, but for now I'm happy with the way everything is. I just wanted to curate a very cozy, enjoyable environment, which I have successfully done. Anyway, I am feeling much better. In fact, this morning I ended up writing 1,121 brand new words for Dark Sky Opens. This is the first time that I have finished not just a full scene, but actually a full short chapter for this book that has been written from scratch. Obviously, everything is outlined, so it was easy to sit down and sort of pick up where I left off, but this is the first time in a long time that I've written anything from scratch for this book, and it felt fantastic. It was so easy to do, and it is just such a good reminder that if I give myself time to recover, to refill my creative well, the writing and the words come so much easier. In fact, I was thinking about if I had tried to write this exact scene several days ago, I probably wouldn't have been able to. It was a high emotion scene, and I'm already feeling zapped and exhausted and tired. And when you feel that way, it's sort of like you cannot imbue the story with the level of emotion that it demands because you have nothing left to give. It has been a great day, a great past few days. The plan is still to bring you guys actually on Monday. I was planning to do it today or tomorrow, but we're gonna be doing it on Monday. We're gonna go down an hour south to my favorite cafe in the entire world, and we're gonna have an all-day writing day. I was hoping to get my laptop fixed because my laptop is broken. This is like a long story. It's been broken for a long time. I have not been able to fix it because it requires several days in the shop to be fixed, which I have been working too much for that to happen. And in fact, I don't think I'm gonna be able to get it fixed this weekend the way that I wanted to. But on Monday, when I drive an hour south and take you with me, I will be taking my iPad, and I think that that will be just fine. That's kind of what I've been using anyway. So yeah, I think we'll be will be good. But for now, I wanted to really quickly talk about a couple of the creative hobbies that I have been really enjoying recently. Not only have these sort of stoked the flames of my creative energy and brought that fire back to life, but they have unexpectedly completely eradicated my desire to scroll. It has been amazing. I am, just like everybody else, incredibly susceptible to the scroll hole. It's very bad for me. I never feel good after scrolling, never. So including hobbies that my brain quite literally prefers to do over scrolling has been an insane benefit to my day-to-day life. I have felt so much better, and I have felt this energy sort of circle back around and make its way to my writing. So first and foremost, behold, my first hobby bag. A lot of people are calling these analog bags, but we'll talk about it. I have fallen down the Hobonichi rabbit hole. If you don't know about Hobonichi, allow me to introduce you to the cult. It's basically a planner journal hybrid, and the way that the planner is structured is in such a way that it's incredibly flexible and incredibly user-friendly. You can basically do whatever you want with it. So I've seen people use it as a junk journal, as a scrapbook, as an actual planner journal hybrid, which is the way that I intend to use it. I have been using an Erin Condren for years, but I also religiously journal, and that has meant that I'm keeping two separate books in my backpack with me wherever I go, versus the one. So the Hobonichi feels like an excellent option for me, hybridizing the planning and the documentation of my life and journaling all in one space. I even got myself one of those cute little pocket photo printers because I have recently being like the last several years, having a lot of unexpected anxiety about how quickly life is passing me by, and specifically how I just don't remember the days that are passing by. I look back, I can't tell you what I was doing yesterday or the day before. I don't know. I'm living so firmly entrenched in the present and in the future that the past is lost to me. And I think in some ways that is not horrible, but it is not good. I prefer to remember my life. So I feel like not being able to remember even the small moments that are good, that are positive, that are uplifting, feels like, what is the point? What is the point of being alive if not to live every day with intention and document it and remember it and relive those positive moments? So I got myself a little pocket printer because I think it would be really fun to take one of the millions of pictures that I take on my phone and have it printed instead of everything being digitized, which is kind of why I was calling this hobby bag my analog bag, because I do feel a change in the wind, if you will. There is a little bit of a shift going on in me where I am no longer feeling drawn to Notion, no longer feeling drawn to these digitized versions of organizing my life. And perhaps this is just because I've been spending so much time working behind a screen recently, but I want to go back to hard copy. I want to go back to something that feels tangible. So instead of purchasing a brand new Erin Condren planner and a brand new journal for the year of 2026, I am going to be giving the Hobonichi ecosystem a try, and I'm going to hybridize my planning and journaling system along with trying to capture one moment, one picture a day in my planner, so that at the end of the year I can kind of look back at everything and actually remember the days of my life. The other thing that I have been thoroughly enjoying, and this is like an offshoot actually of the Hobonichi, it's completely inspired by the Hobonichi. Basically, I have started to design my own stickers, and this has been astronomically fun, particularly because I can actually print those stickers off of my own little pocket printer, and it is amazing. How have I not done anything like this before? It's so cute. It's so creatively cathartic. It's so fun. And I think that it has just added a lot to my life. So I will insert some footage here of me designing some stickers, playing around with my overall style, the artistic, I don't know, signature style, I guess, that I would like to have my stickers all embody. I don't know, I'm overthinking things as usual, but this has been an activity that has quite literally overridden my desire to scroll before bed. I will just take my iPad, sit myself up in bed with some tea, and doodle and draw and create some stickers for my planner next year, which has been great. The other thing that I've been doing, and I will probably also insert B-roll of this because all I'm going to do is hold up the case, switch to cozy gaming. As you've probably seen, I am not really a cozy gamer. I tend to be the opposite. I like games that are usually horror games or zombie games or crafting survival games or first-person shooter games. Like, I like to feel that adrenaline, I guess, I don't know. But I have recently gotten into cozy gaming thanks to my partner, who so generously surprised me one day by purchasing this Switch 2 for me. Babe, I love you, thank you so much. And this has led to me before bed playing Stardew Valley, which is like the ultimate cozy game. I thought that I would be bored by it. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm the kind of person who prefers to watch horror movies because I will get bored. I have a very short attention span for a lot of things. And so unless I'm feeling like a little bit scared, usually I'm not gonna be paying attention. But Stardew Valley has been so much fun, and I find myself wanting to go on a farm sim more than I want to scroll through the scroll hole, and that has been a huge advantage to my life. I also think that it activates a certain creative essence in me. I don't know. It's interesting. The way that you organize your farm and decorate things, it's all an extension of you and your own creative thought and process. So even playing Stardew Valley, designing my own stickers, creating a new planner journal system, these things have felt so creative for me and also tangible for the most part. I guess the Switch 2 is not like totally tangible, but anyway, it has been an awesome addition to my life and I have felt so good about it. I had to share it here on my channel. And I will probably be showing you more sticker footage in the future. I just find that to be the cutest hobby in the world. And I'm obviously no artist. I have taken enough art classes to know that the composition of everything that I draw is bad. That's fine. I think stickers are supposed to be a little bit not perfect. They're supposed to have character and personality in that way. And so I'm letting it go. I do think, as a side note, all of these things also have one thing in common, which is I am working on my perfectionism. I'm a perfectionist, always have been, always will be. However, I will say this, ever since 2023, I have been putting forth a concerted effort to mitigate the way in which perfectionism usually can rule me, rule my life, rule everything that I do. And I have made a lot of improvements. I have definitely made strides in this area of my life. And I think that when I get down to planning and to journaling all in one space, that's going to be a test of my perfectionism. And when I'm drawing stickers and using those stickers, I think that's also going to be an extension of me practicing the exposure therapy that is creating something that is imperfect and enjoying it anyway. These are just good for my brain. So I think if you're interested in including a couple of new creative hobbies, maybe something that's going to help you not scroll so much and also activate that creative energy to inspire you to write a little bit more, think about other ways in which you may benefit from those particular creative activities. Because I think if you play your cards right, you might be able to get more than one benefit, the way that I am, because now I'm practicing not being such an OCD, perfectionistic, insane person. And that is good for everybody, especially me. Anyway, my friends, I'm actually gonna run to the gym. That's like another thing that I think we should all probably be doing, is getting some movement in. I enjoy the gym, I enjoy yoga, I enjoy stretching. I used to be a gymnast 150 million years ago. And so it still is very much cathartic for me to use my body, to connect my mind to my body on a regular basis. And when I am editing a lot, I do not do that quite enough. So I'm gonna go get a good gym session in, and then I will probably not film anything else. We'll see. Maybe I will. Who knows? But most likely I will be seeing you on Monday morning as we get ourselves ready to head an hour south and write all day at one of my favorite cafes together. I cannot wait. It's going to be wonderful. honestly cannot remember the last time that I've been out here. I have missed it here so much. Just being here already is mitigating the onset of seasonal depression for me because the birds are chirping, it's warm outside, I've got a t-shirt on. This is my rock. If you've been here on my channel for about a year, then you know this is my rock. I had a really good day working at that cafe. I love it there. I absolutely love it. It is heaven on earth for me. But as life is known to do, I was thrown a curveball. A couple of days ago, Microsoft Word decided to launch an update that completely sabotaged its ability to interact with my iPad's keyboard. So that was cool. Basically, every time I hit enter, the entire app would close. So in my effort to work around it, I ditched the app, logged on through a browser, and that was like okay, but it didn't have any of my custom fonts uploaded and the entire formatting was off and it was just a literal hideous eyesore. However, I prevailed and I still got writing done, but I did kind of feel that maybe this was a sign. The entire theme of this video has been to replenish my creative well, and a big part of that has been also stepping away from the digitization of my life. And I thought, why don't I try to handwrite this book today? And I did. And I actually had a lot of luck with it. I didn't realize how handwriting made you really double, triple, quadruple think the way that you are writing things, because I, at least, don't want to scratch everything out. When I'm writing and typing into a Word document, my process of writing is very type, delete, type, delete, type, delete. And I couldn't do that handwriting without making everything like completely incoherent. And so that was an interesting exercise, and I think benefited from that. However, it was kind of holding me up, and the purpose of today is to get a lot of writing in. That's really the goal. So now that I have replenished my creative well, now that I am feeling so much better, I want to capitalize on that. So I did cut my day at the cafe a little teeny bit short, and I'm going to enjoy this beautiful area for a little bit longer, head home, set up shop there, and then keep working. The leaves here are changing, but shockingly, we are not in peak fall foliage season here yet. Again, if you've been here on my channel over the last year, you've seen the peak fall foliage here. It is unmatched. And so I will be using that as an excuse to come back down here again relatively soon. I doubt that I'm going to sit down and do another talking head, so I'm just going to conclude the video here and now and say I'm feeling really positive about returning to this manuscript and this draft and the drafting process as a whole. And I think that things are starting to look up. Like I said before, I do have 3 editing projects on my desk that are due by the end of this month, so I will be returning to editing tomorrow, but I'm anticipating a more balanced work-life experience because, like I said, I think earlier in this video, I'm not sure, the fact that I only have 3 right now feels incredibly doable, and I'm happy about that. I'm gonna keep pushing myself to include writing on a daily basis and to continue to make time for refilling my creative well. I do think that this has been a fantastic reminder that motivation can be evoked. Motivation is not this capricious, elusive feeling that we're all chasing after, but it's also not something we can just decide to have and summon on command. We don't just decide, hey, I'm going to be motivated today. But we can do things that will evoke that motivation. For me, truly, it is as formulaic as A plus B equals motivation. And so for me, taking some time, refilling my creative well, recovering from the burnout that I've experienced is going to produce motivation reliably. I do sometimes catch heat for this perspective because I know a lot of us are not in a season of life where we can do A plus B in order to evoke motivation. And that is understandable. It's a tough pill to swallow. I've gone through many eras of my life where I haven't been able to evoke motivation. I haven't been able to fill my cup or meet my needs, and my writing and creativity has suffered for it. However, I have been writing for long enough, and I've been in the writing community for long enough to know that I'm not alone in this. If you fill your creative well, if you feel replenished, if you are meeting your needs, your writing and your creativity will benefit. There's just frankly no way that if you are running on empty, you're going to produce the quality of work you're going to be capable of producing if you're not running on empty. I'm sorry, this is just the way it goes. I'm actually in a stage of my life right now where I am feeling more creatively capable than I have in years. I would say I'm coming out of probably a 7 or 8 year period where I just feel like I wasn't able to get any writing done at all. And now when I sit down to work, I am able to produce high quality writing the first time around that I know is going to require very little editing and very little revision. And that's partly because I have finally mastered those precursory things that need to happen before I'm able to create. And I think if you only have 30 minutes today to write, consider taking care of yourself first. And then tomorrow, when you have that 30-minute block of time again, I promise you your writing tomorrow will actually benefit. So ultimately, the biggest takeaway is to just take that energy, feed it back into yourself as much as you can, and know that it will find its way back out into your writing in good time and benefit you more. I've definitely had those moments where it's like, I can either write right now or I can take care of myself. If I take care of myself, my writing tomorrow is going to be much better than if I wrote today and tomorrow. And that's just the way that things are, at least for me. I will just start saying I'm speaking for myself, but like I said, I've been writing for a long time. I've been in a community of writers for a very long time. This tends to be true for most people. And I'm not trying to ruffle any feathers, but take care of yourselves, friends. Make sure you're taking time to refill your creative well. If you're coming out of burnout, give yourself some time to recover before you hit the ground running with everything you feel you should have been doing while you were working too much, while you were distracted, while you were unable to create, and it will pay off. I hope you all have an absolutely wonderful day, and I will see you again here sometime soon on my channel. Until then, write on, writers. Bye.